Hey, it's Mr. Schmidt. So I got 8 stories I'm going to share with you, and I've been piling these up. I put notes on little pieces of paper. So these are patient successes in my office. This is the kind of thing that hospitals cannot even dream about because they don't work with the body like we do here in this office. So here's the first patient. I've talked a lot about parasites, and it is a major factor for most people with a chronic illness, even if the illness is like sinus drainage, something simple like that, or congestion. And so this guy was on the correct parasite supplements that I gave him. And there were 3 moments when he was bending over to work or whatever, bending over, and a ball of mucus came out of his nose about the size, he said, of a golf ball, 3 separate times. And this isn't the kind of situation where you blow your nose and it comes out. And then he catches it in his hand and it's all mucusy and it's all gross. And now he feels fantastic. So 3 different times, something the size of like a mucus blob that's very pliable and slimy, he catches it in his hand and then he gets rid of it. And now he's in a great shape for the sinuses and seasonal allergies. He's doing fine. This next one is the husband of a patient, and he just decided on his own to take these 2 supplements called Para 1 and Para 2. And he had toenail fungus, and his toenails that had the fungus fell off. And now they're regrowing with no fungus. So that's an amazing story. And it tells you how the body can heal it on its own. And at first it can be a little bit off-putting or upsetting that you lose your toenails, but he's stuck with it and he's getting the benefit for that. And yeah, just picture that in your mind. You're on the right program. The body takes care of itself. It wants to get rid of the fungal toenails, and they fall right off. It's amazing. Okay, next one. This is a woman who had leg edema. So her legs are swelling up below the knee for sure. I don't remember if it was part of the thighs too, plus constipation. And she got rid of parasites. And one of the parasites, and this is her words, this is what she said, 3 feet long with scales. And I have no reason not to believe her. And if I said this on Twitter, or if I said this to a medical doctor, they would crucify me for being like crazy, but there's no reason why she would lie. And anyways, it's totally disgusting and it's totally gross. But her leg edema was very quickly 80 to 90% better. And the constipation was very quickly 70 to 80% better once she got rid of that 3-foot worm that had scales. So maybe it was a snake or something. I got a woman, she was with me for 4 weeks, and she's still with me now, but in the first 4 weeks, she sent me a lot of emails, and she's very concerned about various symptoms, and she read an article, and then she saw a video, and she wants to know what I think. And I'm like, this is all minutiae. It's all teeny tiny stuff that doesn't matter in the big picture, and basically you need to quit worrying about it. So we talked 4 weeks after she started the supplements, and she's badgering me on these minutiae and the details. And I said, wait a minute, stop. So how are you now compared to 4 weeks ago? Are you better, worse, or the same? She said she was better. I said, great. On a scale of 0 to 100%, how much better are you now compared to 4 weeks ago? And she said 40 to 50%. And her main concern was black mold. Black mold can cause a wide variety of symptoms. And as you start getting that out of your body, you get even more symptoms. And each one can be scary. But looking at the big picture, when you're detoxing black mold, you got to go through it. You got to get through it to get to the other end. But in 4 weeks, she was 40 to 50% better. So that's awesome. All right, another patient. This is about a syndrome called Fuchs, F-U-C-H, apostrophe S, dystrophy. It's a hole in the cornea of the eyes. And of course, there's no medical treatment for it. And I put her on supplements, and a year goes by. I talked to her a few weeks ago. And 1 year later, she's back at the optometrist, and the optometrist could not find any holes in her cornea anymore. So another example of like an incurable, medically incurable condition being reversed with nutrition. All right, I have a patient. He had 3 to 4 parasites come out of his nose. And I'm bringing this one up because of the size of them. Three quarters of an inch to an inch long. And of course, slimy. I had one come out that was about an inch long. But so I'm not the only one. He had 3 or 4 of them come out and feeling fantastic after that. Okay, I have a woman, she had goiter, and now the goiter is gone. And iodine is very important for that, and then thyroid supplements is important for that too. And she also had some vision problems, and their vision is fine within 1 week of taking bilberry and a product called iPlex. Bilberry is a fantastic berry. It's like blueberry, except it's blue all the way through. Blueberries are white on the inside. Bilberries are blue on the inside. So if you want those chemical compounds, those phytochemicals that really heal the eye, the bilberry is way more profound and effective than a blueberry. So anyways, within 1 week, her vision, she was super happy with her vision. And the fact that her goiter is gone, another amazing thing. So my last one, a patient, this is amazing. It's human incompetence along with terrifically disgusting. He passed a 40-foot something. It could have been a tapeworm. It could have been a ropeworm, which is not alive. It could just be like old stuff, old compacted waste that adheres to the side of the intestines. He got rid of 40 feet in one string. He put it in a big jar. He told his MD about it. And the MD is like, wow, that's great. Bring it in. I'll send it to the lab and we'll find out what it is. So he brought it in this big jar, and then the MD lost it. How do you lose a 40-foot worm? If I had a 40-foot worm in my office or in my house or whatever, I would know where that thing is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until it was out of my possession. But anyways, this guy, he lost it. So I'm going to stop right there with that. Now, there's a great video. I'm going to put it down below. And it has, it's a collection of medical doctors talking about COVID-19. I'm changing the subject. And they're all saying, look, COVID-19 is totally curable. It's been curable from the beginning. And they said that the Lancet, and I think it was the British Medical Journal, both had studies showing that hydroxychloroquine did not work. And those studies were retracted because it was false science. And one of them was completely made up numbers. And these doctors are saying there could have been 50 to 70,000 lives saved had it not been for governors and other politicians preventing the use of hydroxychloroquine. These governors, like mine in Michigan, Big Gretchen Whitmer, her fans call her Big Gretch, but Gretchen Whitmer, she blocked the use of hydroxychloroquine to medical doctors, therefore causing possibly thousands of people to die. And another thing they did was they told pharmacists to not allow doctors to prescribe hydroxychloroquine to patients. Hydroxychloroquine is safer than aspirin. It's safer than a lot of medications. It's been in use for a long period of time. I'm putting this link below. It's doctors and they're pissed off. And there's one woman who she said that the doctors who refused to use hydroxychloroquine because they were told by somebody else, she said, those are the good Nazis. It's like the Nazis of 1934 and later, 33, they obeyed. And so all the doctors not curing COVID-19 are the good Nazis. This is how severe it is. And I've been saying something like this similar even back in February. And they had to take down 13 videos because the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, sent me a letter because I was talking about herbs and stuff for it. But there are currently 4 cures for COVID-19. And one of them has to do with zinc, Zithromax, the antibiotic, hydroxychloroquine. Another one is zinc, Zithromax, the antibiotic, and then Pulmicort, which is a steroid inhaler. Another one has to do with Dr. Brownstein. I'm going to say this again in the future because at some point, some politician, some medical doctor, somebody in charge of a hospital needs to implement this because the lockdown is not necessary, the face masks are not necessary, social distancing is not necessary when you have the cure. And the cure is this easy. Dr. Brownstein, high dose vitamin A, C, and D, nebulizing iodine and then ozone IV. And that's in a published peer-reviewed medical journal. And on Twitter, I was sort of badgering a medical doctor. He was saying, hey, today at the hospital, we had 10 code blues, meaning 10 people are dying. And this is not just the flu. And he did this emoji, you know, the thinking emoji. And it's like, you know, think about it. And it's like, why are you telling people, why are you scaremongering? Why are you fear-mongering? There's the cure. And I posted the link to the cure so he could read it. And he said, oh, Dr. Brownstein? Yeah, that guy? Well, isn't he an anti-vaxxer? I won't listen to him. And it's like, wait a minute. We're not talking about vaccines. We're talking about you curing COVID-19 with a proven peer-reviewed protocol. It's 100% cured in 107 patients, 100% cure. And so he didn't want to read it because he didn't agree on another subject with Dr. Brownstein. And then, you know, and I'm like, so what? You know, like, look at the cure. And then he said, well, look at the journal. And it's like, what about the journal? It's all about the therapy. So anyways, this guy's a good Nazi. He's obeying his superiors. And in the meantime, his patients are dying and it's 100% curable. And there's the majority of doctors, MDs across the country, they are doing the same thing. They're obedient to the politicians. It's all political. They're obedient to the politicians for preventing you and your loved ones and your neighbors from getting hydroxychloroquine. In Iran, hydroxychloroquine is sold over the counter. And there's a lot of countries, they're just dishing out hydroxychloroquine because it works so well. You got to get it early. And the dosage has to be right. It can't be too much. It can't be too little. You throw in some zinc. And if you need an antibiotic, you're throwing in an antibiotic. And hydroxychloroquine was proven 15 years ago with the coronavirus. That coronavirus 15 years ago and the current COVID-19 coronavirus are matched up genetically 73%. That's how close it is genetically from this coronavirus versus 15 years ago. So it's already has a track record. And there's these pioneering doctors who don't care what the medical boards say. They don't care what pharma says. They don't care what the politicians are saying. They're going after the cure. They're using it and they're being successful and they're saving lives. So what does it take to get medical doctors to save lives? I don't know what else to say about it. It's been around since March. Dr. Zelenko from New York, he cured 1,500 people. He's probably over 2,500 people by this point. So how can you possibly just say, oh, it doesn't work? And if you're a medical doctor, how can you possibly not? Why would you want to prevent your patients from taking it? If you're a politician, why would you want to hold back on the release of hydroxychloroquine to as many people as possible who might need it? You know, politicians are not medical doctors, so they should not be in control of any therapy for any patient. It's got to be between medical doctors and the patients themselves. So, all right, thanks. I didn't think I was going to talk about that, and I wanted to make this short. I was going to talk about 8 success stories, but here I go off on a tirade because this video was released a few hours ago, and I'm going to post it below. I'll post it in my community section, and chances are YouTube's going to take it down because they're Nazis or communists, same thing. Susan Wojcicki, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, they're all anti-you. They don't like you. They don't like freedom of speech. You know how it is. Okay. Thanks. Sorry I didn't read any of your comments or questions. Thank you for participating, and I'll see you soon. Bye.